In the forests of Estonia, just 35 miles from Russia, British soldiers are digging in, building real defences in preparation for a war that must never happen. This is NATO's front line, where training is intense and the threat real. What happens here may be an exercise, but the mission is genuine, to deter aggression and be ready to defend Europe if needed. It's where preparation and purpose meet. This is NATO's front line, and it matters now more than ever. A lone figure approaches NATO's front line. It's unexpected, catching troops off guard. He's taken into custody, a surrendering soldier, a prisoner of war. But this isn't real. It's part of a vast NATO exercise, a full-scale test of the alliance's ability to defend Estonia from invasion. The thing about Estonia is this: it's all about deterrence. NATO maintains forces in the country permanently, but it needs to test its ability to bolster those forces with additional troops, and that's what's happening this week. BFBS Forces News was granted rare access to join British Army units deployed to the region. We met soldiers permanently stationed here under Operation Cabrit, and others rapidly deployed in response to a simulated attack by a hostile state.
So we're here as the NATO multinational battle group here in Estonia, here to show the UK's commitment to help the Estonian Armed Forces. So Hedgehog is a massive exercise that happens about once every 5 years, and it's the Estonian National Defence Plan, and obviously us as the multinational battle group, we sort of fit into that. Anyone in the British Army will tell you that NATO is massively important. We understand that, and I personally am very, very proud to be here, supporting NATO as a whole, but particularly supporting the Estonians. They potentially have a big, they've got big worries about what might happen to them, and I'm happy to be here, and I'm sure everyone else is here too.
In Tapa, we met UK personnel preparing to roll out into a week-long war game spanning the country. British troops rotate through Estonia on 6-month tours, maintaining a continuous presence on NATO's eastern flank.
So I've been in the Army for 3 years now, with C Company 1 Mercian. We're based in Bulford, near Salisbury.
And are you loving it?
I am loving it, yes. This is my first tour, it's first operation. It is going well. The exercise has been quite fun.
So I have a black cockapoo, name is Freddie. I've also decided to name my Trojan after my dog. Yeah, so my job here as the Trojan is to provide counter mobility and mobility corridors for the battle group to progress forward. Any obstacles, blockades, we bypass and continue going through. I've got a minefield clearing, mine plough. This takes direct mine strikes. So far I've been kept very busy, making sure that the vehicle's up to date, keep going, making sure I tie back home every now and again when I get the chance. See videos of my dog, it's always nice to see.
For Exercise Hedgehog, this permanent force has been joined by an additional 2,500 troops from the UK and France. Getting them here, with all their equipment, was no small feat. Some travelled via Eurostar, boarding the 9:15 to Paris before continuing east by rail. It's all part of the test. Can NATO reinforce the front line quickly in a crisis? We embedded with Burma Company, 1st Battalion, the Duke of Lancaster's Regiment. They'd spent 4 days digging in, building battlefield defences that simply can't be replicated in the UK. Tank ditches, trench networks, and dug-in firing positions. Their location is just 35 miles away from Russia.
Yeah, well, we're on Exercise Hedgehog, which is showcasing the Forward Land Forces Brigade, 4th Light Brigade's ability to rapidly deploy and then operate with the 1st Estonian Division in a relatively challenging environment. And it is about demonstrating NATO's readiness to respond to a threat to its member states.
So what is the exercise from your perspective? I understand this is a defensive-based scenario.
That's right, large-scale exercise, operating with the 1st Estonian Division, a defensive scenario, and we're in the build phase whereby we're now preparing the defences against an advancing enemy with a couple of days to push. And when the enemy arrive, that'll be when the exercise, for all intensive purposes on the main defended area, really gets going.
The thing about these trenches is the soldiers have dug them specifically for this exercise, But when the exercise concludes next week, the trenches will remain, and they'll become part of the landscape here in Estonia, should there ever be a war. But what's it like living in a trench? So Liam, this is your humble abode, I believe. Why don't you talk me through it?
So we got here, there was just a hole in the ground. We started digging. We had this done by pretty much day 2. There's a chap here asleep, but we normally fold up our sleeping bags. We call them DOS bags. So there's a lot more room during the day, but at night they'll be all folded down, and there's like a little lane here so we can get out, because we'll be going onto the stag point over there, which is in the trench. It's quite spacious in here. We was digging for quite a while to get all this room, so it took about 2 days, but with all the insulation and stuff, it's quite homely, so it's good.
It's homely for an infantryman, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is luxury for an infantryman. Yeah, it's really good.
The trench system includes a machine gun position, which actually is overlooking a road where they expect the enemy to travel along at some point in the next 24 hours or so. Obviously, when that happens, this will let rip. This hybrid deployment, part exercise, part readiness mission, is giving Burma Company's OC a rare chance to see his troops operate in realistic, high-pressure conditions.
Yeah, so Burma Company, we deployed 10 days ago to Estonia, and that's where we spent the first week doing some integration training with our Estonian partners and the French battle group that are here, because obviously it's one of the key aspects for us to make sure that we are interoperable with all of the NATO allies that are deployed out here. The experience that our soldiers have, some have served from 2 weeks and have been literally out to basic training just before deploying out here, through to some of our soldiers that my company Sergeant Major that served sort of 20 years. And so that whole breadth of experience is incredible, but also the new ingenuity of some of our soldiers in learning some of the technology that we have. It's just been an incredible opportunity for all of us.
Thanks to Ukraine, battlefield technology has evolved. A commander like Lance on the ground can now deploy drone assets in seconds. We met Trent, flying a Parrot reconnaissance drone, a small tool that gives commanders vital situational awareness. How important do you think drone is in modern warfare?
Oh, 100%. This is like the future of modern warfare, I would say. I mean, if the British Army didn't have capability in drones, we wouldn't be as good as you are. And, you know, our drones are really good. Worst case scenario, one of our platoons get attacked, and we could send the drone up, see exactly where the enemy is coming from, if they're getting flanked or they're fighting front position, and I can basically send the drone up, see where the enemy is coming from, and live broadcast it on here, so that all the call signs can see the footage of where the enemy is at, or if they are coming towards our position and which positions they are going to.
Nearby, another soldier operates a drone designed to simulate the more lethal kind of threat now common on the modern battlefield.
They're just built for purpose. They fly, hit a target, and that's them destroyed with small munitions. So that's what the one-way attack drones that we're using are.
You've been a soldier for a decade. Is this an avenue you ever saw the army going down?
Not when I first joined, no. It was more so like this in trenches, but you know, it's just the way the world's moving now. We've seen with current conflicts in Ukraine and in other parts of the world as well that this is the sort of avenue that conflict's going now. So we're behind the boat, so to speak. So we need to sort of find a way to catch up, really, and this is the way that we're doing it.
Just absolutely incredible. Seeing what the drone sees, it's clear how fast British Army doctrine is evolving to meet the challenges of modern warfare. It was while filming this sequence that the lone figure appeared, emerging silently from the trees, hands raised in surrender.
Halt!
One Lancs took him into custody. He was searched and processed in line with the Geneva Convention. An exercise controller told us scenes like this play out almost daily in Ukraine. That's why the scenario was included, to prepare troops for the unexpected. Matters like this may be minor in terms of the overall deployment and reason for being here, but for commanders, it's all about preparedness.
I guess it's easy from my perspective. I've got a fantastic team, and the soldiers work incredibly hard. They have really appreciated being able to come here and be empowered to adapt to the environment. The defensive build has been different to what we usually do in the UK. Importantly, they're learning a lot, and it gives you a tremendous amount of pride to see them learning and actually enjoying themselves too.
Now firmly dug in, it's all about the waiting game, such as life as a soldier. Helping those hours pass by, some of the members of the Battalion Fijian Choir, providing a little relief from what can sometimes be monotonous work. Don't forget, these troops are operating under what's known as PED Red. They have no mobile devices or access to the outside world. It's moments like this that help with any encroaching boredom. The Kingos have proven they can move fast, dig deep, and hold the line, not just as soldiers, but as family. Now, as part of NATO's High Readiness Reserve, they stand ready to deploy at a moment's notice, because in preparing for war, they help prevent it. And through their readiness, they help secure peace. James Walton, BFBS Forces News, Vuru, Estonia. Kingos! Thanks for watching. For more from BFBS Forces News, like and subscribe to our channel.